Hi, and welcome back to Children's OT Top Tips. My name's Anna and I'm a Children's Occupational Therapist, and today we were going to talk about the sensory diets and what they look like and how we can help create them. As I was saying in my previous video before about kind of sensory needs, we all have sensory needs that change throughout the day, and that we all use some kind of sensory diet in our routine to help regulate our needs and our emotions and our sensory needs. For instance, this morning I woke up, I had a cup of coffee, I had a shower, and that helped my body wake up and regulate itself to get into that place where I'm happy to carry on and work and do what I need to do. I might listen to music in the car to keep my focus and attention while I'm driving. I might fiddle or tap or rock while I'm at work to move my joints and move my muscles so that I can focus and attend. I might, at the end of the day, after a really stressful day, and I feel like, my threshold's been a bit high and actually I need to calm down, I might have a bath, I might have a glass of wine. That's completely normal to regulate ourselves. But some children need a bit of help with that. And I would say that if you are wanting to create a sensory diet for someone, you really need to know that child well. You need to know what they like, what they dislike, and what their needs are day to day. And be flexible with your approach, because every day is different for every child and our thresholds change all the time. So having a bunch of tools at our disposal is really helpful to use if we need to. I'm just going to run through some different things, different tools, different things you can do and integrate into a child's day-to-day routine to kind of help bring them back into that learning place they want to be, their happy space, rather than in the times when they're either overwhelmed or underwhelmed with sensory input. And ideally you want that happy medium. So firstly we're going to talk about proprioception, which I mentioned before is the kind of feedback in our muscles and our joints of how we know our body is moving, where and kind of where we are, our body is in space. And some children really need that to kind of help focus and attend. And like I said, that's something often we do without even realising. We might wiggle or move around to kind of help our focus and attention. Movement breaks are fantastic for children that need a higher input of proprioception. And there's a whole bunch out there. Maybe in another video I'll list a whole bunch. But for example, chair push-ups. You can do that simply in a classroom. Get the whole classroom to just do some chair push-ups. 1, 2, 3. It's using your muscles, using your joints. Attention is there, and it's bringing a child back into focus. And another one is deep pressure. Children, that's another one that is associated with proprioception, is having that deep pressure of knowing where their body is in space. Weighted blankets, kind of bear hugs, giving themselves a really big squeeze, deep pressured massage, all those kind of things are really, really good to help a child to attend. Next one I'll talk about is vestibular, is a sense of balance. If a child is someone who really needs that high kick of vestibular movement, how can we implement that in our day-to-day? And it might well be that they like to spin and rock on their chair, and how can we, so having a movement break which incorporates spinning. Wobble cushions are really great. I'll put the link in the description. Kind of a cushion that they can sit on in class, which just gives them a little bit of feedback while they're working to help them to focus. I would say with vestibular activities, just to be a little bit careful, because the sense of balance is incredibly sensitive, and like I think a lot of people know, if you get overly dizzy, you feel sick, and we don't want that with children. So we have to be careful that we're not overusing that, because we don't want any sick children. So just kind of keep an eye on how the child is feeling and whether they're needing that. The next one is smell. Looking at the child's sensory needs in terms of smell. It might be them smelling something that is calming for them if you're needing them to kind of bring them back down into a place of learning. Smelling a scented candle that they find calming. Or it might be something that you're wanting to do some alerting, and that child needs a bit of alerting through smell, smelling something that's strong, awakening, that will help them kind of alleviate their senses and wake them up. Visual, so look at bright lights, can be really stimulating for a lot of children. However, also sometimes bright lights for some children can be overstimulating and can cause a meltdown if there's too much going on activity-wise. So they might need somewhere dark to retreat to, or a dark room, or you can get blackout tents where they can retreat and just calm down, and they can be really, really helpful. Taste, for a child to kind of help wake them up in the sense of a snack is always really good. It uses their oral motor skills. Something crunchy is really good. A breadstick, a carrot, something which is going to be using their oral motor skills and awakening their sense of taste. Similarly, flavours, something quite strong, a sour sweet, or something that's got a strong flavour to it can really help a child regulate themselves. Hearing. A lot of children struggle with hearing in terms of just being oversensitive to hearing. And ear defenders can be a great thing for those children to use. For instance, if they find it really hard being next to the cars by the road, then putting on some ear defenders can just help while you're on the walking them to school, for instance. I would say try not to let a child wear ear defenders all the time, because you become accustomed to it and it then becomes hard to take them off. And when you do, everything feels overly exaggeratedly loud. So I would choose times to wear it where it is necessary for the function that you're wanting to do. Music is another thing with noise. It can be really stimulating. I know if I want to go for a run, I put on some music that is upbeat. And if I want to calm down, I put on some calming music. Sense of hearing is really powerful, and it's a real tool we can use. Touch, like I was saying, soft touch. Some children love soft touch. They can find it really stimulating and sometimes really calming. Similar deep pressure, kind of that deep pressure, that rubbing, presses, can be really calming for children. And temperature, like I was saying before, temperature is an important sense. It's important to keep an eye on the temperature of a room, because if somewhere is too hot, they might become more sleepy or more agitated. If you're in a hot room and you're flustered, it's hard to attend. Similarly, if you're in a room that's too cold, it's really hard to focus if you're constantly shivering and feeling how cold you are. So try and make sure that the temperature that your environment that you're using is appropriate and meeting the child's needs. It's just started raining. So I would just say those are a few skills that you can use to help piece together some kind of sensory diet for a child. Like I said, try things out, see what works, see what doesn't. Every child is different, so there's no one size fits all, sadly. And it's best if you know the child's needs and you know when they're likely to have meltdowns during the day, and what are the triggers for that. Then you can use these tools to kind of help alleviate them and problem solve them in order that you can evaluate the effectiveness of it. And I would say evaluate it, write it down. How's it gone? Have any of these things worked in the classroom or worked at home to achieve the goal that you guys want to achieve? Thanks so much for listening. Like and subscribe, and I hope you see you again soon. Thanks.